So, in this video I'm going to try and explain what I think are the main issues with the England squad and why they perform so badly in the Six Nations. Please bear with me. There are some key theories I have. The first is that, as I have said before on my channel, the Sarries players are playing below average due to not playing in the Premiership. And this was true for most of the players. Owen Farrell has been pretty bad. Itoje has been on the wrong side of the penalty count than he's used to. Jamie George hasn't been up to his high usual standards, which has made way for Luke Cowan-Dickie to take his place on the starting lineup. Daly has been a target of a lot of hate at the moment from fans, as he's been playing quite poor and is not playing well under the ball, which is essentially his job as a number 15. And as for Mako, I mean, he is just so darn slow. But I don't think that can be the only factor. I think Jones has made poor selection choices in the non-Sarries players as well, with the exception of Luke Cowan-Dickie, Ben Youngs, Ford, Watson, May and Curry. I mean, Curry started off the tournament quite, not playing at his best, but I mean, he soon grew into it and became the monster that we all remember. Watson has been incredible and needed more hands on the ball really, but when your centres and number 10 and number 12 cannot distribute the ball to you effectively, what can you do? Now Slady was either great or a bit meh. His defence was much better than Daly's, however, and so if he was decent under the ball, I might try switching him to fullback. I mean, he has played. I mean, he hasn't played there, but I mean, he can play there. But why would you do that anyway when you've got so many good players out there in the domestic league? My third theory is there isn't actually that much to worry about. England did after all beat France, who looked to be the best attacking team at least in the tournament, whereas Wales is more of a best defensive team and counter-attacking team. England have just reached a point where all the other teams know how to beat them now, is the issue at the moment. And their game plan hasn't changed and just needs to be changed a bit. England is now known for its attempted fast starts and the use of kicking for pressure to try and gain territory or a turnover penalty. This was fine in the World Cup and the Autumn Nations Cup, but now teams have realised that this is how they play and have combated it. And that is why these teams have now got amazing fullbacks, and they're just great under the ball and defensively and can counter-attack brilliantly. Liam Williams and Stuart Hogg are veterans in this position and have played brilliantly the whole tournament. Hugo Keenan has been a revelation for Ireland. He's brilliant under the ball. He seems to always catch it, even on an attacking kick. He's literally brilliant. Brice Dulin as well was quite good. I mean, obviously they lost that game against England. He wasn't as good when pressured, but he's fine when no one is pressuring him. England cannot pressure kicks when they have these brilliant fullbacks gathering the ball every time, especially not when England's own number 15 is not performing well and can't seem to catch a ball. Johnny May is about the only pressure runner that they have. I mean, Slady does it as well sometimes, but I mean, once that kick chase has been chased by Johnny May or Slade, then another kick will go, and then another kick will go, and then you have no more runners. If they are to continue with this tactic of kicking for territory and pressure, then they need faster runners or a mentality for the team to all chase everything. Because at the moment there is no pressure on these kicks, which then means that the other team have free rein to just kick it where they want it, and then they end up with gaining the territory rather than England. Wales are a team where they have this mentality, but rather than on kick chases, they pressure the breakdowns. Ireland are the same. Everyone in that team will always pressure the breakdowns, and that uses up forwards and suggests to the other team that they should then either kick it or get it out wide. England 9 times out of 10 will kick, and it is then gathered by the good back line or fullback, and then England have lost possession and we go back to the kick battle, which hasn't been going England's way, and I think that is why England have been losing. For me, fullback is the most important position when the game has become all about kicking. but also the ability to stand your ground in rucks with as few men as possible is also important, meaning that you have more men in the defensive line. I don't feel England have been able to pressure rucks well or even defend their own. Genji can get pushed back by a winger, Mako is just too slow to even get to it, Wilson and Yules are just a bit meh, and Tom Curry, I mean, he is brilliant. He seems to be the only jackling threat England have, though, and I feel it's too much pressure to put on one person when the other players are not putting up the same pressure as he is. I mean, let's not forget, he's only 22. I feel like he's 26 at least. I mean, we've seen him be brilliant for so long now. Why aren't the other players in the team at his level? The amount of penalties and turnovers England have allowed is crazy in this tournament compared to the side that we saw in the World Cup. Against Ireland, they had nearly doubled the amount of turnovers conceded as the opposition, with Ireland conceding 6 and England 11. England lost their rucks more, but only slightly, and Ireland won 100% of their mauls, whereas England only won 53%. The scrums aren't much better either. Ireland 100%, England 60%. So this paints a picture that the forwards may not be up to scratch. The lineouts, however, 100% for England, so that's good. But the mauls following were not, of course, because that was 53. I mean, England just aren't performing as well as they should be. It's not just not performing or rustiness, though, it is the basics they cannot seem to get right. Rugby is a great sport in which there are lots of positions and they all have jobs to do. England's jobs were just simply not getting done. Daly at fullback was not gathering the ball. Ford at 10 was not orchestrating attacks well enough. I mean, he was getting charged down quite quickly a lot of the time, meaning that he's unable to get an attack going. The props not protecting the rucks well enough. I mean, Genji getting pushed back. It's things like that. The centres and backs not making decent passes or kicks. I mean, so many times Watson wanted the ball and it just got thrown to nobody. I mean, Daly was the main culprit for that. And the rest of the forwards were just giving away far too many penalties. Itoje, so many penalties. They're just not getting the basics right. And to me, I think it shows a lack of skill or a skill drain at the moment. This could be COVID related or the fact that the other teams have put so much pressure on England that it's causing England to make mistakes. Or more likely, it is the lack of domestic league game time for the Sarries guys. They need either time out from starting or playing in the team altogether to make way for people who can get the fundamentals right, or they somehow need to train harder or to get signed to different clubs so that they can keep playing at that high level every weekend and not lose their skills. Now, if this happens and they get moved to other teams and things, it will mean the death of Saracens as a club, which is sad for pretty much only Saracens supporters really, as everyone else is probably glad to see them out of the picture. I mean, I am a Chiefs supporter who has had to see them lose twice in the final to them despite being top of the table. So I mean, I am a bit biased in that opinion, but hey hey. But anyway, that is the best thing for the national squad if they are to actually get game time. If Eddie's going to keep playing these players. If not, get new players in. So at the end of the day, I think a reshuffle and a rebuild is what's needed for England. Get new younger faces in to just perform well and play well. Tom Curry, only 22, he plays like a monster. We need more players like him. Marcus Smith, he's a young boy, he plays amazing at number 10. Bring him in. Sam Simmons, Alex Dombrandt, try either of them. Just so many guys out there. I mean, Adogwu, he could have come on. Why didn't he? Harry Randall, injured, but he needs to be in as well. Just so many people need to be in. I mean, fullback is a big question mark though. I'm not really sure who would be best. Mike Brown is the obvious choice for me, but Eddie doesn't like him, so we'll see. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed listening to me moaning about England again. Now I know lots of you won't agree with what I have said, so give me your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you do to fix the team. Also check out the other vids I have on my channel, and please subscribe for more rugby stuff. I have plenty of views on my channel, but I need more subs to get paid by YouTube. And I want that cash money, please. So like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe so that I can feed my family.